Welcome back everyone to another portfolio update video. I'm back once again covering the performance of my over $156,000 portfolio. In this video, we'll jump into an update of all the holdings I have in my portfolio, as well as any transactions, stock buys, stock sales, or dividends my accounts have seen over the past week. As I just mentioned, my portfolio is currently valued at $156,049.14 on a total all-time gain of 22.75%. or about $28.9 thousand. Jumping right into the TFSA, it's at $47,104.12, and this week it saw a decent gain of almost 1%, or about $413. As for the transactions, I had a $200 deposit, and with that $200, I bought a recurring buy of XEQT worth $160, a recurring buy of QQC.F of $40, and I had 3 dividends in the TFSA this week. The first one was VFV, which was $25.14, which was automatically reinvested. The second one was QQC, just a small one of $1.13, which again was automatically reinvested. And lastly, I got my final dividend of VDY in my TFSA worth $12.20. If you did not know, I sold out of VDY in a few other positions and just pretty much allocated them all towards XEQT instead, as XEQT had a lot of the underlying holdings that VDY has. So VDY was not automatically reinvested. Next up, my RRSP is at $40,896.21. The account saw a gain of almost $160 or about 0.4% this week. As for the transactions, a $200 deposit, which then went towards VOO. I bought $120 worth of VOO, and then I bought $80 of SCHD, and I still have a bit of a cash balance in the account. I have not allocated this money yet. It's about $2,800, so I'm just kind of steadily buying Palantir, $100 every week, so I had that buy as well. And VDY, I got a dividend of $2.41, which was not automatically reinvested because, just like the TFSA, I sold out of VDY and a few other positions and put it into VOO and SCHD instead. The non-registered account is at $18,019.25. That sounded like a really weird number to say, but this is the first time this account has been over $18K. I believe, and it was up about $240 this week, or 1.35%. And in this account, I got 2 dividends. The first one was VFE, it was worth $40.91, and the second one was VDY, worth $5.90. And I did not automatically reinvest these dividends in this account because I'm building up the cash balance a little bit through dividends so that I can withdraw it and put it into my TFSA and RRSP when the time comes, because I do have some allocation room in those accounts. So I figured the cash I built up in this account for the time being would be better off going over to those 2 accounts. My cryptocurrency account is finally green on a week. For the past 3 or 4 weeks, I swear this account has been down over $1,000 every single week for 3 or 4 weeks. So this account is at $26,189.96 on a weekly gain of about $600 or 2.43%. For the transactions, I had a $100 deposit. And I finally bought Bitcoin again. I have not bought Bitcoin for a few months because it was just sitting up there at all-time highs, and I didn't want to keep buying at all-time highs, so I figured since it has dropped a fair bit, I'm going to just start rebuying it until it starts getting back up to those all-time highs again. So I bought $30 of Bitcoin again, $20 of Ethereum, $20 of Polygon Matic, and $15 of Chainlink and Polkadot. My last account, the Wealthsimple Cash account, is at $23,813.16, and so far in July, I have earned almost $42, or $41.98 exactly, in interest. So the transactions in this account were just the transfers to my TFSA worth $200, the transfer to my RRSP worth $200, and then a transfer of $100 into my crypto account. My total portfolio value over here on my portfolio tracking spreadsheet is at $156,028.81, with a total return of $28,528.81, or 22.38%. And I don't know if it's just me, but for the past few months, I'm sure it's not just me, because S&P and the NASDAQ are hitting all-time highs every single week, it feels like. But my portfolio just feels like for the past few months that it has also just been hitting all-time high after all-time high. At some point this week, the portfolio was up over $157,200, somewhere in that range. It was over 157K at some point this week, which was blowing my mind. I was like, am I going to finish this week at 160K? It was certainly feeling that way. And leave me a comment down below if you're feeling this market right now. Since I make one of these update videos like almost every single week, I'm considering adding a column or row onto my spreadsheet here of all my holdings that shows the return over the past 7 days. I think it would be very interesting to be able to go through all my holdings and see on the spreadsheet which positions had the best performance over the past week, or which positions had the worst performance over the past week. So I'm going to try and figure out a way that I can incorporate the return over the past 7 days onto my spreadsheet. I think it would be really interesting to see that in the videos. And also, this is the part of the video if you want to pause and check out any of my individual holdings in my accounts. I'm not going to go over everything individually. It would take too long. Feel free to pause the video at any point here, and I'll also check out my crypto holdings as well. I think if my math is correct, I received somewhere between $80 and $90 worth of dividends again this week. That puts my total for dividends / interest for 2024 up to $1,313.92. Well above what I finished 2023 with, and the year is kind of just really only half over. But anyways, checking out the TFSA, the total for July is now $38.47. The total dividends earned in the RRSP in July is up to $95.39. The total in the non-registered account for July is $46.81. And lastly, I've gone over this before, but my July interest payment on July 1st was $102.31. So I am still sitting on a fair bit of cash between my RRSP and TFSA, almost a combined $5,000 worth of cash. Just simply because part of me thinks the market is so hot right now that it almost feels inevitable that it's going to come down a little bit here soon. And that's kind of when I want to strike and deploy this capital. I'm still unsure what I want to do. Part of me just kind of wants to put it into an ETF. And but I don't know. I'm kind of torn right now. Like, I think the market could keep rallying for the next foreseeable future here. But part of me just thinks it's only logical that it's going to come down soon, and that's when I think I will strike and deploy some of this $5,000 I have. I know timing the market is not the smart thing to do, but I mean, if you look at RSIs and you look at technicals of the market right now, things are very, very overheated. I think for sure if we see a pullback on Tesla anytime soon back into the low 200s or even below 200, I will probably deploy some of the capital into Tesla. I'm still going to continue buying about $100 a Palantir every week for probably another 5 or 6 weeks at this point. And as for the TFSA balance here, I'm almost just thinking going all in XEQT and QQC, just with that full 2,000, and potentially even buying Shopify. I did take a pretty hefty L on Shopify. I bought a lot of Shopify in November of 2021. Actually, I deployed a lot of my capital in my TFSA in November of 2021 when markets were at like that super all-time high with like in every sector. That's why a lot of these positions in my TFSA are down. I put a huge lump sum of money into the market all at once in 2021 November, and that kind of explains the like Block being down 55%, and Shopify being down 55%. So maybe it might be smart to buy some more Shopify. I am still bullish on Shopify. I do have Shopify in my RRSP as well, but not nearly as much. So we'll see what happens. I might just keep the cash for the next few weeks and see how things go. I mean, this time next week, I might already have it deployed. Who knows? Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you have enjoyed and made it this far, be sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and break 50 likes on the video. And if for some reason, if you're not subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon. See you next time.